you might be, certainly it's because maybe some people, really have a strong impulse of speaking all the time. But remember always, before you speak, when you have this chance to keep quiet, sometimes, I myself actually, I always think that if I have a time to keep quiet, I would be really grateful. But unfortunately, like when people come to ask me, if I just keep quiet, I don't want to speak anything, people will hate me, right? People will think I'm very rude and I'm not a good monk. And now you have this kind of chance, you don't have to speak, and that even if you don't speak, people will not really think that you are rude. If they think, that is their problem, because they don't understand, because very important thing is that even though you really have the urge to speak, you have to think about, you want to speak. Why? Is it because of urge? Is it because you just have different kind of thought in your mind? Sometimes you speak because I'm going to address that issue maybe later this talk today in the evening. But anyway, I want to say, you have to observe this, what kind of thought impulse you and then force you, kind of like, call you to want to speak out, and just avoid that. Maybe you need attention, maybe you need to, you just want to, kind of in Buddhism called a pride, the proud comes to you, you want to express your idea. Not that you cannot express your idea, as I say, unless you really find that it's really necessary. And then try to form it in 5 sentences, that's it, That show actually, you really knew that is important, you need to speak it out, otherwise, please be, always keep silence. I just ask you to do that only for a few days, how difficult that will be, All right, now we're back to this meditation today in the morning. You have learned, you learned that you could meditate on a group of people. But I think I'm not going to guide you because I would like to keep myself today quiet too. And then you could just expand your meditation on the group from this, close by area to extend it to the neighborhood, and then even to one state to another state. But if you know the geography well, and then you could just extend even to one country to another country. But however, if you are not, for example, you might be just new to America, so that you are not well known about a place. So certainly maybe you could start from your hometown as well, okay? But maybe you can, this is how, that you have to know the purpose. We are not doing this, is not to show. I don't think you can show to anybody, but that's the reason why it might be speaking become necessary, you want to tell them. Otherwise, you are not to show, you're just doing your practice. So by doing the practice, you need to have to understand, firstly, either you could start with directly just meditate on, on the boundary, on the area to one area to other area, or you could start with yourself first. Like, you say, may I be free from animosity, anxiety, and so forth, to clean your mind first, or to clean your mind, and also just to let your mind to have this, consolidate your mind to be, stay firmly with that loving kindness. Okay. And the other is, but of course you also could really right away to start with meditate on others person. Usually it's suggestible, advisable that to start with the dearest person. Okay. And then once you find that your focus is all right, and then now you can start to meditate one group, one area to another area, extend it wider and wider. And not only that, you must have this kind of vision that you are not just only visualize the front, but you are going to visualize much more wider scope. That's what I mean. Okay? And deeper and further and larger. Certainly, it's even though you don't see them, but certainly you still be able to observe that there are many more people coming around. Okay, that's the thing. And or if people who are not the beginner, if they like to do compassion meditation, you may do so. Now, after even a beginner, if you are started, when you come back here after the walking meditation, a little break, or maybe just before the lunch, time passed quickly. Before the lunch, you could just start to do the compassion meditation. Actually, today is Friday, am I right? Today is Friday, and tomorrow will be Saturday. There will be only one day, whole day left. And then the Sunday, you only have half day. So just I think maybe at least you have to grasp one of the simple method that might be very useful for your daily practice. One of the method is the compassion meditation. The difference between practice the loving kindness meditation compassion, there are two. One is when you practice the loving kindness, you might be choose the practice loving kindness or be friendliness to yourself. That means you could meditate on yourself. However, if you do the compassion meditation, there's exception, but generally we don't encourage to start with meditate to yourself, okay? And then compassion meditation, I myself think that the best is don't meditate compassion to yourself, but compassion meditation to start with only others persons, okay? I know there's a debate about that too, but we all, when you learn something, learn the simple version first. Don't think about too much about the debate thing. Only when you really are, into the practice, then you could see maybe there was, anyway, other opinion might be also adaptable, okay, to you. So that's one thing. And second, when you meditate on compassion, so you certainly also, you could start from the people you don't know well, or you could start from the people that you know well, okay? Because depends on person's experience. Some people feel very painful when they want to meditate compassion meditation to the person know well. They know well to them because the persons maybe have a very painful state. They feel very, unbearable to meditate on that. So it's based on the person. Depends on the person. Now it's very important when you do the compassion meditation, visualize the person on the awful state, either mental or physical state, unhappy state, and then you need to be able to relate to the feelings. I'm not saying that you really know how they feel, but that's how you know that may be supposed to be feeling, and on the suffering stage. And then you, at the same time, you must have something like the loving kindness way that you'll be able to call, kind of like pull you back, not totally dwell in that kind of suffering, but wish the person to be out of the suffering. Okay, like, understand what I mean? Okay, that is compassion meditation. So, and now I repeat again. You may start as a beginner. You may start to just do the group meditation. Usually we call it boundary meditation, and extend it to everywhere. Okay, the farther, the bigger, the vast, the better. Maybe I should guide a little bit, I guess. Yeah. And then when you come back, if you would like to test or try, and please, when you after walking meditation, or at least before the lunch, you just try to do a little bit of the compassion meditation. Okay? But when you do a compassion meditation, you just only have to start to do only for the individual. All right, I think I will guide you maybe best for this what I call the boundary meditation. Then I will just hit the gong, and then after 10 minutes, you just meditate the way you are. Either you meditate to yourself to start with, or either you can directly just meditate to the others. Don't forget, you always have to meditate to the others in order to have better focus on your loving kindness. And also, I also notice sometimes some people, when they practice here, they also try to mix the technique. Don't mix the technique, okay? Don't mix the technique. Maybe whatever you learned in the past, because especially when your mind is getting calm, stable, or I would say the concentration become better. The other technique, for example, if you meditate on like elements, the elements may appear very clear to you, and then you have this craving to look for that. Don't. Back to your technique. You are here, you're learning this technique, otherwise you don't have to be here to learn this technique, okay? So you need to ignore it. In Buddhism, always must understand, you must be knowing when you practice that how you want to direct your mind to. You direct the mind to which object you want to or not want to, it is all up to you. That is very important, okay? Not to let your meditate object to carry you, okay? All right. So that's always we have a term called yoniso manasikara, mean you must know how to correctly pay attention to what object, and not to paying not paying attention to what kind of meditate object. It's nothing wrong with which object, or this is wrong or that wrong, but you must be able to direct your mind. Okay? So now when you practice this technique, please just using this technique. And I saw people, I don't know, some people now are not here, but they might have a very different way of meditate. To me, it's very obvious when you have a different sitting posture, not a posture, but the reaction. I definitely know you are not practicing this technique, because if you practice this technique, some kind of thing it would not happen to you. All right, now I will just let you to be your own practice. In 10 minutes, if you hear my voice, especially you're a beginner, you may just follow my instruction. Okay.